What will people think when they hear I'm a Jesus freak? What will they do when they find out that it's true? They'll probably elect me as governor. My girlfriend and I were recently discussing our experiences in church. She was raised non-religious with an atheist dad and kind of used church in her teens as a way to rebel. She told me she never really believed it, and Bible study was interesting because she kept asking legitimate questions, but it was fun, and she thought that so long as she faked it, maybe it would make sense eventually. There are many teens who go to church for the first time for this reason. It's a social group with friends they may know, and it has the ultimate celebrity who is perfect in every way, or so they tell you. It's a fan club that has thousands of songs, live music, and warm fuzzy feelings for accepting that this guy is so awesome. An extreme fan crush that you would get ridiculed for or have to keep silent with any other celebrity. The only other comparable obsession is that with Japanese otaku fans. It is one of the only places that singing is still encouraged, and it allows you to cry or express emotions, and no one bats an eye and they encourage it. Just imagine if we had the same response to Dawkins or Sagan. People would call us nuts. Emotional support groups and sharing emotions in general are lacking in the atheist community, and for teens who are going through their most emotional time in their life, this does seem to fill a need. Though instead of giving psychological and logical advice, it instead encourages drama through relying on Jesus for everything. I was in high school back when DC Talk's Jesus Freak first came out. It was sort of the new theme song for any religious gathering. It discussed the possibility of persecution or ridicule, just like the Bible says. Of course, since we were in the Bible Belt, I never saw a single instance of ridicule or persecution for following Jesus. I did for atheists, Wiccans, Goths, hippies, punks, and lesbians, but never for Jesus freaks. But using the term Jesus freak made them feel like a persecuted minority, while having all the perks of being accepted by the mainstream society. It was perfect for a teen's rebellious nature, and if they encountered bullying or ridicule, they would claim it was because they were a Jesus freak. Sorry dude, it has nothing to do with your beliefs and everything to do with the fact that you were an awkward teen, which does not discriminate on religion unless you aren't Christian. It only discriminates on superficial things like whether you're hot or good at sports. I was not a Jesus freak by the crowd standards. I was not a groupie doing it for fun. People who were in the youth group for fun, lock-ins, pointless trips that helped no one irritated me. People in it to get high on Jesus irritated me. I was in it for the fear of the souls of those who would end up in hell if we did nothing. Helping people seemed like the best solution. This mindset shows how secular humanism is better than salvation-based religions, as when we help someone, we care about saving lives most, and when they do it, lives come second and souls come first. Hence the abortion issue. If an abortion will prevent a highly potentially and pointlessly suffering life, we don't care about the soul because we have no evidence for the soul. So the life is regrettably ended before the suffering can begin. Life and quality of life are the most important thing to humanists. I was the real Jesus freak, an anomaly for my age. But as the votes were cast, my ideas went against the fun and spiritualistic ideas the people in my group were in it for. Their Perfect Man fan club. I resented these people and found it horrifying that they weren't taking the prospects of people around them burning for eternity more seriously and doing whatever they needed to do to save souls. They were in it for the friendship, the community, and the fun, and they were focused on their own needs over spiritual needs of others. People were in love with Jesus, as I discussed in my religious What the Heck is Love video, but went off and went against what they claimed to believe when the spiritual feelings went away. For many of these people I knew as they grew older, their fan crush on Jesus dimmed and became more of a marriage. I was on the GodDiscussion podcast recently, and I discussed my views on moderate Christians. As an ex-creationist and an ex-fundie, all Christians in my mind still are creationists. Even though the majority of Christians, as I am discovering, don't believe in hell, they don't take the Bible literally, they understand evolution and accept it as evidence and fact. These people act like the Jesus freaks I knew in church, without the hellfire and damnation, and the judging of others. They also see secularism as a good thing. These people are foreign to me, and nothing like the people I grew up with in the Bible Belt, where religion was crammed down our throats. I was warned about these not real Christians for not making hell and damnation the most important part of their belief. If there was no hell, then it's just another relationship with God that people can choose to be in or not, just like you can choose to be in an otaku fan club or not. I'll probably think you're a bit weird, but hey, everyone has their own strange obsessions and hobbies that I have no right to judge. It was the hypocrisy and self-centeredness of claiming to believe in hell, but not doing anything about it, that really caused me to feel isolated in my love for my fellow man. Before judging atheists, you had better look at your own actions and attitudes to make sure you aren't disillusioning your own best and brightest. In your own self-centeredness, you may very well be the stumbling block Paul warned about. Oh right, real Christians would never become disillusioned by their fellow Christians and fall away from God. Other Christians aren't responsible for the spiritual well-being of their weaker brothers and set an example. It's all Satan's lies and somehow their own free will that causes a person to fall away from God because they made that decision with inaccurate information given to them by Satan. They will get to burn in excruciating agony for eternity. Fuck those faggy bastards. Silly me.